guys, it's viral. And in this video I'm going to show you probably the most in-depth guide on how to make a stealthy virtual machine for Windows 10 on VMware 15.x. So it shouldn't really matter the version of VMware 15. We're going to go from hiding the VM in MS Info 32, DXDiag, and Task Manager to hiding all the services, processes, and programs associated with VMware. Some key things we'll need before we start is a Windows 10 key, an ISO, and if you don't have a Windows 10 ISO with the latest update, or if you do but you want the one with the latest update, you can just go to this link here in Internet Explorer. Yes, for once, Internet Explorer is super useful. You gotta press F12 to open up the DevTools, and over here in the user agent string, you just click on it. If it wants to click on it, please. There we go. You just click on it, select Apple Safari iPad, and it should just refresh. It's going to ask you for which Windows edition you would like. The 1803 update. Click confirm. It says select product language. Just go to English International, confirm. And it's going to ask you for what architecture you would like it for. So 64-bit or 32-bit. That's fully up to you. And you just click which one you want to download. And you'll need a VMware workstation, obviously. Notepad++ to edit the VMX files. If you already have VMware, you probably already have Notepad++. And another program you need installed on the virtual machine is called Resource Hacker. And this is the program where you'll be editing the exe files associated with VMware, so you can hide it and even change the logo of like VMware tools, for example, so it doesn't show up in the startup folder and program files and all that. So first things first, what you got to do is open up VMware Workstation, click Create a New Virtual Machine, and you're going to need to go to Custom Advanced. Hardware compatibility, just keep it default, 15x. Make sure you select I will install the operating system later. This gives us a little bit more wiggle room, and so VMware doesn't just work by itself. Microsoft Windows 10 64-bit, that's the one I'm going to go for. Virtual machine name, I'm just going to call this test 64. You can call it whatever you want. And the location where you want your virtual machine saved as. Normally I like saving it on the secondary hard drive, but I'm also recording on it, so it's going to cause a little bit more lag. I'd rather have that for the video. So for the sake of an argument and hardware issues, I'm just going to click next. This is super important because the commands that I have available for you requires the BIOS firmware type, and I'll get more into that later. But make sure BIOS is selected is super important. This is what hides it from MS Info 32 and System Info in the command prompt. So select next. This is the number of actual physical processors. So if you have literally 2 processors in your motherboard, then you would select 2. But make sure it's selected 1, and this is the number of cores and threads. So I have a 16-threaded Ryzen 2700X. I'm just going to keep it at 8. I'm going to delegate half of my resources to this VM because hopefully it'll load faster and all that. This is the amount of RAM you want. I'm going to go with half. I have 16 gigabytes of RAM. This is fully optional though. You can do whatever the hell you want. So I'm going to do 8 gigabytes of RAM. Use network address translation NAT. I prefer that. You can just go ahead and use a bridge connection, but localhost networking, I haven't really figured out how to get that to work, so I'm just going to use NAT. You can't really select anything else here, so just keep it default. We're going to keep this one default. Create a new virtual disk. Yes, I'm going to keep it at 60 gigabytes. If you're the one that would like to just save it on a thumb drive and put it on a different computer, then you would rather have it split into split the virtual disk into multiple files. I don't, And if you want to make the VM run a lot smoother, you can allocate the disk space now, but warning, this takes forever. I did it on a 250 gigabyte file, and it took all night. So be prepared. If you want your VM to run better, you just select that, but make sure you leave it on overnight. I'm going to keep it at 60 gigabytes though. You can put it at whatever you want. You just click next and then click finished. What we'll need to do now is go to VM settings. Over here, connect on power on, use ISO image. So whatever the ISO image you have, I have the latest 1803 update straight from Microsoft. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna go ahead and go in there and open that. Now go to options and make sure, where is it? Oh, sorry. If you're also using a laptop, you can report that information to the guest PC, which is the virtual machine. You can just select that if you want to show the battery information and stuff. Make sure in the firmware type it says BIOS. Last time it changed on me, I don't know why, but just make sure it's BIOS here again. And you just want to power it on. Alright, now the Windows installation is pretty clear actually, but I do want to get one thing out of the way. If you're not used to reinstalling or installing operating systems of any sort, it's going to ask you how you want to partition the drive, so I will quickly show you how to do that. Select anything that really applies to you and what you want. This is strictly your preference. We're going to click install now. Oh, activate Windows if you have your product key. I don't at the moment. My box is actually downstairs for that. You can type it in now. I'm just going to select this just for sake of a longer video. You can select whatever version of Windows they have for your key. I have Windows Home, so I'm just going to keep it like that. I accept the license terms. Next. And now you want to click Custom Install. And on here, drive 0 unallocated space. You want to click New. And whatever the amount you picked, for me it's 60 gigabytes, so I'm just going to leave it like that. And it's going to tell you Windows might create additional partitions for system files and recovery, and that's perfectly fine. And then you're going to let Windows do its little thing. And we'll see you guys after Cortana has done all that stuff, just to kind of make the video a bit shorter. Alright, now once you've completed everything, you should see your Windows desktop, and that is a good thing. Congratulations, you got your virtual machine set up with Windows 10 with the latest update. Now the first thing you want to do is go to the VM tab at the top here and install Vmware tools. This is important to have the actual virtual machine run smoothly and correctly. So we're going to go ahead and install that. It's super easy. You should see that here. Just click on that and then click Run Setup64.exe. Go ahead and click Yes. And then VMware Tools should prompt to install. Just follow the steps, click Next, I agree, and all that kind of jazz. And I'll see you guys in a bit. Once VMware Tools is finished installing, you would see this little message here. That's great. And it's going to ask you to restart your computer. I'm going to click No, and I'm going to just shut down the virtual machine regularly. So you're going to see that little pause sign and click Power Off. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show you first that in Task Manager, it's going to show that you're a virtual machine first, because this is where we're going to put in our little commands. So see here, it's going to say virtual processors 8, virtual machine yes. Okay. Now we go over here to MSInfo32. It's going to say that the system manufacturer is VMware and VMware virtual machine. So we want to change that to what our host PC says to make it more believable. So now we're going to shut off the virtual machine. We're going to go to where we installed it. And that, for me, I installed it over here, I believe. Yes, I did. And you want to open up the VMX file with Notepad++. And you're going to copy and paste these commands into the VMX file. And don't worry, I'll have these in the link description below. Pretty much what this does is reflect the host information and enable virtualization in the BIOS of VMware. So essentially you could run a virtual machine off a virtual machine, but the whole point of this is to actually hide it from saying virtual machine and show logical processors. So after that, just want to click save, escape, and you just want to boot up the virtual machine normally. Alright, upon reboot, you should see your little desktop again, and that's really good. But we're going to verify to make sure that everything has actually changed. So we're going to go back to Task Manager. We're going to go to Performance. And we're going to see here it shows a lot more information, your base clock speed. It's going to show logical processors. So it's going to show physical processors, and it's going to show virtualization enabled. So congratulations. It's going to mirror what it says on an actual host PC. So over here, for example, this is my host PC. And there you go. In MS Info 32, it should have changed as well. And lo and behold, it has. So that's amazing. So we've successfully hidden it, and we actually should have hidden it in command prompt, system info actually. And here we go. Multiprocessor free. It's going to show nothing of VMware. So that's great. Now, if we notice, we actually haven't hidden it from DXDiag completely yet. In the video tab, it will still show VMware. And this is relatively an easy fix. What we want to do is actually open up Registry Edit, run it as administrator, and now you just want to search for pretty much the values that you see in here. So I'm going to search up for the chip type, VMware. Whoops, let me get this out of the way. Oh my god, my real estate is just not that great for this. We're going to search up VMware Virtual SVGA 3D Graphics Adapter. And okay, it's officially found it. And what we want to do is actually edit pretty much, I think it's 4 or 5 values to mirror the host PC. And I have my own DXDiag here ready just to copy and paste pretty much. So I'm going to go ahead and change it. So this might take a minute. 0x6811. Driver name. The only thing that I won't change, and this is always like this on any virtual machine by VMware, is the DAC type will always be unavailable. So you're just gonna switch it to what it says. So mine says Eternal DAC 400 MHZ, just like that. BIOS string, no, we don't need that. Adapter string, we're going to go over here, we're going to change that to AMD Radeon TM R7 series. And down here, provider name, which is the manufacturer. I'm going to put Advanced Micro Devices Inc. So just like how I see in my own DXDiag here. And I click OK. I'm going to close all this. I'm going to go back to the computer, and it should change. It should have changed to what we want. And congratulations. Wait, what? It has it. Oh, I got cucked. I got cucked. I think I need to search that up, actually. SVGA 3D. This is the part where it gets very tedious, especially when you want to hide the processes too. And the main reason why you would probably want to hide this information is if you're a scam baiter, or you run a business and you have everything hidden from clients and all that, and employees, which is completely fine. But now we're gonna look for. There's gonna be a lot of options for this here. Description. We're gonna go ahead and change that to AMD Radeon TM R7 370 series. I'm gonna copy what I just wrote there. We're gonna continue finding the next one. And it's pretty much just trial and error after that. You just gotta go through the registry and look for it. Driver description. That's where I screwed up. I see. Okay. We're just gonna keep searching. We're gonna go ahead and change that. I'm pretty sure this is for the one in Device Manager. Yes, we gotta hide that too. Device description. We're just going to copy and paste what our thing says here. Company name. Advanced Micro Devices Incorporated. Location information. Don't bother touching anything else. We just want to change the manufacturer and the device description. Those are literally the only ones we want to change. So we're going to keep going. There we go. So now it should have changed. Let's go ahead and minimize this, close this, and open up DX again. So after it's done loading, it should pop up. There we go. Now we have fully mirrored it to look like our host and all that. So after we've done that, what we want to do is actually create a backup of our entire registry. And we'll just go to File, Export. We're going to save it on the desktop. We're going to call it DX Update, for example. I'm just going to save it. And this process takes maybe about a minute, depending on what you have delegated to your virtual machine. And now the fun part arrives, where we go and edit everything in Device Manager. And this is actually really fun, because there's only a little bit to do. First thing we need to go to is the disk drive. So we go back into Registry Edit. I don't know why I closed it. Go back into Registry Edit, and we're going to search up for Vmware. We're going to search up... Oh, that's why. I see it. You have to be very specific when you search up for these things. Yeah, it was Device. I see where I screwed up. Alright, here we are. And it's going to ask you... Well, it's not going to ask you anything. But what you want to do is go to... You want to change disk device. Do not change the driver. Friendly name. And manufacturer. And we kind of want to mirror the ones we have here. So if you delegated 250 gigabytes, to make it more believable, you want to go 250. You want it to specify 250 gigabytes in the friendly name. So here I'm just going to copy what it says here. I'm going to say Samsung SSD 970 Evo 250 gigabytes. I'm just doing that for just sake of an argument. And we're going to go to manufacture here. Manufacture. You make sure you delete everything. It's very tempting to keep it the same, but trust me, delete everything and just click write Samsung here. Same how I did in the friendly name. I deleted all that other value and stuff, so that's fine. Disk drive, I believe we can keep this the same. And that's done. So we're going to go ahead and scan for new hardware changes. It's going to show that it's a Samsung SSD 970 EVO. Over here, I made an error when I was searching in DXDiag, and I must have changed the AMD Radeon thing, so that's fine. Or the Vmware SVGA adapter, so that's okay. Now over here, we want to search for this one, so we're going to go all the way up here to my computer. We're going to go to, whoops, find, and you want to search for what it says here. And of course, real estate help. Vmware SATA CD01. Alright, so we did successfully find that one. So like we're just gonna change it to something. If your host PC has one there, then go ahead and change it to what your host PC says. So I'm gonna say Asus 24x/12x DVD rewritable SATA. Just SATA, just like that. Manufacturer Asus, and you can keep the device description the same there. So we've done that. Now we want to look at keyboards and mice. We will see a VMware pointing device here. So same thing applies. Just keep going to the top of the computer there. So that's where it starts off at the beginning there. You want to search up VMware pointing device. Click next. Alright, I don't think this is the right one, but actually, yeah, this looks about right. We're just going to call this HID compliant mouse, just like that. INF section, provider name, we're just going to call this Microsoft, capital M to make it look more serious. Matching device ID. Just going to call this all Microsoft. If I screw up, that's on me. I'm pretty sure that's what I did though. So find next, VMware USB pointing device. Find next. Always get into that habit after you search for something and finish, clicking the computer and then clicking edit to find. Otherwise it's going to start searching from where you last searched, and that's not good. Alright, it's going to say VMware USB pointing device. I'm just going to go ahead and copy that. I'm going to call this Microsoft again, and provider name Microsoft. Jesus. There we go. And this should have changed. So we're going to go ahead and scan for hardware changes anyways. And it didn't because I'm an idiot. No worries. I'll redo this and I'll show you guys again. I just edited the wrong stuff. So really what I'm going to do is just go back in here and search up for VMware until I find the correct one, until it changes. Sorry about that, guys. I made a mistake before, so here I am. Just make sure it's in enum value in the registry address. Now we're going to go to device description. We're going to copy and paste it to show USB HID compliant mouse. And go down over here. We're just going to name it Microsoft. And that should be pretty much it for this. Now I'm going to go all the way at the top again. Actually, can I just go down here? HID. No, I can't. Okay, so I'll just have to search for it again. No worries. Click my computer. Find. USB pointing device. Now we're just going to search up pointing device and find next. Alright, now we found the VMware pointing device. Just going to go ahead and call it HID compliant mouse again. And then the manufacturer, same thing, Microsoft. And that's pretty much it you need to change out of this. We're just going to go ahead and make sure these settings have changed. And it has. There are a little bit more you can do. It's actually in system devices down here. And for the sake of this video, I will go ahead and change these around. So I'm going to go ahead and search for the same thing again. Go to my computer, find VMware VMCI. What is it? Host device? Bus device. You will see stuff like this. I'm going to go ahead and for sake of an argument as well, I'm going to name it Microsoft Bus Device, just in case it does show up somewhere and I don't want it to. Alright, so same here, Microsoft. And I'm going to go search for next. And we're going to see the next one here, so that's no worries. We're going to go and type Microsoft Bus Device. And location information, don't want to touch that. Manufacturer, Microsoft. Now we're going to go all the way up here. Click on computer, find, and search up VMware VMCI host device. Same thing like last time. We're going to go ahead and change this name up, just in case it pops up somewhere. Microsoft, whoops, type Microsoft R, no time for typos. Go ahead, Microsoft. Press F3 to search for the next value here. We're going to do the same thing here. Microsoft host device. Manufacturer, Microsoft. And these now should have changed. And they have. You won't see them at the bottom no more. And I believe that's it for Device Manager. So now we have it hidden in Device Manager. So that's a big woohoo. Congratulations. We're about 50% of the way there. You want to make a new backup. Oops. Make sure you select computer before you do that. Make a new backup. Say this is a Device Manager update or something. Save it on the desktop again. Because when you reboot your virtual machine, the settings revert back to normal. So instead of having to go through all this nonsense again, you just create a backup of your registry, double click on it, it will load it within 10 seconds. Alright, we've now hidden it from MSInfo32, System Info and Command Prompt, DXDiag, Task Manager, Device Manager, etc., etc. Now we get to the really fun and tedious part. You'll need a program called Resource Hacker installed on the virtual machine. So just go ahead and click download, exe install. Just save it. And once it's done downloading, install it as you would from any other program. And what this program does, it allows you to edit exe files so you can change its logo, its name, its manufacturer name, even driver dates, or not driver dates, but program dates, program versions and all that. Airplane, yay! So now we go click install, view readme. We can exit out of Edge now. We're going to search up Resource Hacker. There's no shortcut on the desktop, so we're going to open file location. We're going to right click Resource Hacker, create shortcut. It's going to ask you if you want to place it on the desktop. You're going to click yes. And now, here's the fun part. This is so fun. I don't think you guys understand how fun this is. I'm going to go ahead and make a shortcut to this PC so it's easier for me. What I like to do to hide VMware tools is essentially go to where it's installed. And where did it install? Here we go. Right clicking it and go to properties, and then clicking hidden, apply. And it's going to ask you if you like everything else in there hidden. You click yes. I'm not going to do that just yet. And what I'm going to, because I need to search with Resource Hacker and find the EXEs associated with it. So we're going to go to Task Manager, and we're going to look for VMware tools. And you're going to see all of these things here: VMware Activation Helper, VMware Guest Authentication Service, VMware Tools Core Service. We're going to change that up to something more believable. You can have it as a jokes thing, like Pornhub upload service, like I did with my last VM, or stuff like that. All you got to do, though, is make sure you have a logo that will work. And in my opinion, the only thing that would really seem believable is a graphics API program. So AMD or NVIDIA. So I'm going to go online. I'm going to search for, let's see here, AMD Radeon icon, for example. And we're going to see this. This is for the old Catalyst software, I believe. Now I'm going to go ahead and save picture as. Save it in the downloads folder. It's going to save as a PNG. So now we got to go to a PNG to ICO converter. And you get those online for free. That's not the one I use, though. This isn't the one I use either. I don't know why it's coming up as something different. But no worries. I'm going to upload it. We're not going to change anything. I'm going to click this one over here, though. I'm going to click Convert to Icon and click Download your icons. I'm going to save it. Now we're going to see where VMware Tools Core Service is located. So we're going to open up Resource Hacker. We're going to go to Open. And we're going to find where VMware Tools is installed again. So we're going to go to Program Files, VMware Tools. And this is called VM Tools SD. So we're going to open it up. You're going to see icon over here. So you want to open it up. You're going to see the little icon here. We're going to right click the icon thing, replace icon, open file with new icon, and you're going to see the icon folder icon, the new downloaded icon, pretty much. You're going to select open, and you're going to click replace. And you see all the new little icons here. Version info, we want to change that. Anything associated with AMD. So this is where it gets really fun. Like I said, we're going to call this AMD Radeon TM Technologies or something like that, Incorporated. File description, VMware Tools Core Service. We're going to call this the AMD Radeon host settings. File version, I'm not going to bother changing that. For this though, I'm going to call this the AMD graphics processor, AMD graphics processor. Copyright, I'm just going to switch that to AMD Technologies Inc. Original file name, we're going to go ahead and change that to AMD GP. Oops. AMD GP. There we go. Product name. AMD Radeon host settings. Product version. You could change that if you'd like. I'm not going to. There's no point. As long as you actually change the name and stuff. It's going to ask you if changes have been made to the script. Just going to say compile, no problem. Processor architecture, you don't need to touch that, but the name here, we're going to call this AMD GP. AMD GP and AMD GP. Description, the description, AMD Radeon TM host settings, for example. And that should be it for this. So we're going to save this as onto our desktop. We're going to call this AMG GP, like I just did. You don't need to go this full route, but I'm just going to do it because I'm just so used to doing it this way. I'm going to save it. And you should see our little thing pop up here. So this is our new VMware tools. But that's not it. What we got to do now is go into this PC, program files, VMware, VMware tools. And we want to delete this and replace it with this one, right? Actually, I'm not going to do that just yet. We need to go to Registry Editor, and we need to find anything associated with VMware tools, sd.exe. So same thing applies, like we did in the little demo there, how to change the device manager stuff. So you want to go to My Computer, Edit, vmtools sd, or vmtoolsd.exe. This is super important because if you don't do this, your VMware tools will not load and you won't be able to use your mouse. I struggled so much with that, guys. So make sure you change the registry as well. It's super important. Now we're going to go over here and you're going to see VMware tools. We're going to change that to amggp.exe. Well, amdgp.exe. We're going to find next user process. Same thing, amdgp.exe. Okay, continue. Okay, this is just binary values. We don't need to change that. Surprisingly, we can't change it anyways. So continue. Event message file, no worries. Same thing applies. amdgp. F3. Can't do the binary one, so we skip it. Finished searching through registry. Excellent. So now we can delete it. Continue. Oh, it's in use, so we have to stop the process first. Sorry about that. This stuff is really trial and error, guys. So we're going to stop the core service. Continue. Oh my god, the real estate I have on this. We're going to drag and drop it in here. Continue. And now you want to make a backup again. Just in case this works, and it should work because we edited everything in the registry. So file, export. I'm going to call this amdgp update. Save it on the desktop. Alrighty. Alright, let's reboot. Let's make sure she works. Alright, now the virtual machine is loaded up. We're going to wait for everything to load up correctly. Task Manager just opened. Look at that. It shows AMD Radeon host settings. So that's amazing. We need that. We need it to show. Oh no, it's reverting back. I think it's because of this. I think the settings have changed. No worries. We'll go ahead and click that. And not all data was successfully written to the registry. This is completely normal. I've experienced that 100 times over. And now it's going to say AMD Radeon host settings. So perfect. And now we're going to go back to Task Manager. And we're going to search up we're gonna do the same thing. Activation helper. This is a service we gotta change. This is an alias, another service we have to change. So we're gonna go ahead and open up Regedit again. Bleh. And there's like fucking people drinking outside or something. Canada for you, bud. Anyways, we're gonna go and search VMware activation helper. And we should find it any moment. Upon your first search result, you'll see this VMware activation helper. This says friendly app name. So you know what? We're gonna change this to host Microsoft host service or something along the lines like that. So I believe that should change the name, but we're gonna continue. We're gonna keep searching for it. Every value associated with VMware activation helper, we're gonna change to Microsoft host service. When we get back, it's gonna say finish searching through the registry, and that's fine. And now when I'm looking at this is another exe we need to edit. So vmacthlp.exe. I don't think that's gonna change it completely. Let's open up Task Manager, activation helper, and guess the Microsoft host service. Yeah, it didn't seem to change it. That's all right. So what we gotta do now is open up Resource Hacker, see where this is located, Program Files, VMware, VMware Tools. So we gotta go over there, open, go to where VMware Tools is installed, and here we go, boom, 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 and here it is. Version info. So same thing like the VMware Tools. What we want to do is switch this all up to something more believable, and I'll do that and cut back to when it's done. So roughly along the lines like this, you can do something. Remember this though, your original file name. This is really important to make the exe work. So this is what you're going to name the exe file after you're done with it. Compile. Click on here, and we're going to change this as well. And just like that, just don't forget to change the name, microsofths.microsofths.microsofths. I don't know why I capitalized these. And there we go. Now we want to save as on our desktop. We're going to save it as Microsoft HS, just like that. I'm going to click save. We should see our new one here. Perfect. Now same thing like before, we got to find everything associated with that other one. So we're going to go over here. I kind of forgot what the file name was called. So we got to go back. VMware Tools. This one. Copy. Go into Registry Editor here. File, find, make sure you select computer. .exe. So this one says value data. We're just going to change that to Microsoft F3. Microsoft host service, perfect. Searching the registry. Okay, we found a value here. So you want to change that to Microsoft HS. Doesn't need to be exactly like mine. It's up to you though. Just make sure you change it to the value that you set the new exe. We're going to continue. Okay, here's another one. This one says display name. We're going to switch that up to Microsoft host service. Click OK. Image path. Very, very, very important. I'm going to go ahead and switch that to if my, whoops, Microsoft HS.exe. And I believe that's it from here. Description: enable support for running virtual machines from a physical disk partition. We're actually gonna for running a Windows-based operating system. You don't want anything that says virtual whatsoever. There we go. Click OK. Now we're going to look for the next one. All right, finish searching through the registry. So we're going to go ahead and make a new backup of this one. Find export. We're going to call this Microsoft HS update and save it on the desktop as well. So now we want to delete it if it's in use. So you want to go back into Task Manager, VMware Activation Helper. You want to go over here, stop the service. So now it's stopped. Now you want to delete it. And now you want to place it in here. Continue. Interesting. Well, I'm going to restart the VM and we're going to see if it actually changed anything. It should have though. Alrighty, so BRB. And to my surprise, it actually had updated. So that's a very good thing. Now we have AMD Radeon host settings and Microsoft host service. The only thing we need to worry about in this menu per se is VMware guest authentication service. In this, let's go to open services. I believe it's another exe we need to edit. So let's go over here, search up for VMware, alias manager, and tickets. We're going to go to properties. Yeah, it is another exe we need to edit. So no worries. We're going to go ahead and open up Resource Hacker. We're going to find that exe file. So we're going to open. Go to where VMware Tools is installed. Like I said, this is very tedious, but it's very rewarding in the long run. And VG off service, I believe, is what they called it. Let's double check here. Yeah, VG off service.exe. And alright, we're gonna open it. Message table. This shouldn't really have anything interesting. Now we gotta switch this to what we want again. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Alright, so I pretty much edited it to anything that I wanted it to, or how I wanted it. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy what I want my exe name to be. Go back over here, compile. I feel like I made some spelling errors in here. We're gonna save as on our desktop. We're gonna name it WinCompServe, so Windows Compatibility Service. And save. Now again, we gotta go back to the registry. I know. The registry is just beautiful, isn't it? Go back into VMware Tools. Figure out what this thing is called again. Copy it. Oi. Find anything with VG off service.exe. We're going to call it WinCompServe.exe. So we're going to do the exact same thing. Anything that pops up, we're just going to change it if we can. Alrighty. Once you find the process in the services, I'm going to go ahead and change it to what we had the exe named as. So Windows Compatibility Service. I feel like my guide is riddled with typos. Please ignore it. But it's fine. It still gives you the same premise of what we're doing here. Win comp serve. Object name, local system. Okay, I don't think we need to change that anymore. Finished searching through the registry. No problem. So we're going to go up here, click My Computer, Export, Win comp serve update. Save it on the desktop. And after it's done, we're going to go ahead and stop this service. And that is done now. So now we want to go back to VMware Tools. We want to stop this, or delete it, sorry. Look at Win comp serve over here. Continue. Replace it. And I believe that's the only process left in Task Manager that we need to fully hide. And that is correct. The only thing we need to do now is change the services, and pretty much it's the exact same thing except for there's no more exe edits. So it's just full registry edits. You just change the names through the registry. And you'll see these two things here are the only ones left of that. Oh, no, we got 3. So thank God we searched by description. Actually, no, this is the one we just edited. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and restart Windows once again and see if the settings have actually applied and changed. All right, we back now. Now we want to open up Task Manager and confirm that it's actually changed. Windows Compatibility Service, Windows Compatibility Service. Microsoft Host Service, Microsoft Host Service. AMD Radeon Host Settings, AMD Radeon Host Settings. So this is all correct now. Now we want to go to the Task Manager, Services, and we want to edit the last little 2 things here, which is VMware CAF Okay, so we just go back to registry edit. And we just search for that pretty much. Vmware CAF com AMQP listener. Whoops. Boom. We're going to look for that, and we're going to change its settings around. Alright, we found it. And now we're just going to pretty much do the same thing and bullshit our way. We're going to call this Microsoft Agent whatever communication service. This has nothing that specifies it's a virtual process. So same thing. Boom. It's going to show that the program files is in there. But that's okay because the process doesn't show that it's virtual, as you saw in Task Manager earlier. We're going to press F3, search for the last little bit. No problem. Alright, done searching through the registry. Now we want to find this one. So go all the way up. Actually, I think this is it right here. Yeah, this is it right here. No problem. Easy find. You want to find label this as Microsoft again. Microsoft Agent Management Agent Service. And just Microsoft. And that should be pretty much it. I don't recall seeing another search for that. So we're going to go ahead all the way at the top. Click on My Computer. Export. We're going to name this as Final Service Update. Save it on the desktop again. All right, let's see if it's done. It does look finished. 214 megabytes. That looks very promising. I don't think it'll update yet. I think we need to restart the virtual machine again. And it looks like we do. So that's what we'll do. We'll restart the virtual machine one more time, and it should change. Alrighty, we are back. We're going to double check if these services have been renamed to something else. And lo and behold, it has. I do not see it. We're going to look for Microsoft now. Microsoft CAF, Microsoft this. Ooh, this one still shows that. And I think I know the reason behind that. So we're going to go ahead and search for this one more time. Good thing that I saw that. We're going to go search up VMware CAF COM AMQP listener. And I think it's because you actually have to change the folder title in the registry to what you named it. Okay, so this right here, let's just rename this to rename this to let's see here, call this Microsoft. It's gonna lag a little bit, which is normal. Go over here, Microsoft. What do we change this one again? Microsoft Host Service. So we're gonna go ahead and rename that to Microsoft Host Service. And I believe this should be it. If I made a mistake, it's probably because we do need to edit another exe file. But to be honest, I don't think so. Although it's looking like it's looking like we might. I feel like this is a DLL file. I'm not too sure. Let's restart this anyways. We're gonna update the final one again. So to do that, we need to go back all the way at the top. And if my mouse would like to stop doing that, that would be great. Export. We're going to save over Final Service Update. And click OK. And yes, I want to replace it. All right, let's reboot the VM. Okay, let's reboot the VM. Okay, so I opened the Services tab. Let's see if we successfully changed it. And it looks like we have. Superfetch, okay, description. Just make sure. Yeah, I don't see any more V. Virtual disk is actually a completely normal process, and it's actually always off. So you don't need to worry about that too much. You're more than welcome to change that if you just don't want them seeing that, if you're a scam baiter per se. Yeah, but it looks like I changed it. I'm just gonna double check over here. Yeah. Okay, that was pretty much it. dxdiag. Yeah, no, I knew it. Oh man. It's not a huge deal, so let's make sure we're running off this one. We just gotta go back and edit dxdiag. To be honest, I should have done that near the end, so that's kind of my screw up, and I apologize for that. Here, let's turn that off to save resources. We'll just go back, search up what it says in dx.hig. Oh my god, I feel like an idiot. Yeah, it's gonna say that. So we're just gonna go to registry, find what it says in dx.hig. I don't know why I closed it. So VMware. Oh my god, this real estate is just. Yeah. VMware virtual SVGA 3D graphics adapter. I'm just going to search that up quickly and edit everything back to what we wanted it, and then make a whole new backup, and everything should be perfect afterwards. There we go. So we edited it completely. Now it has all of our new stuff with the old. The only thing we can't change, I'm not sure if I specified this earlier, is display memory. This is something that's loaded from the actual like BIOS file, and you can't really change it, unfortunately. But thank God, like, they don't really notice that. And as you can see here, we have the host computer. But yeah, everything is good now, and now we can make a whole new final updated, for sure, final update. So we're going to call this the final update registry and save it. Final update registry. Perfect. Let's just check our task manager. AMD, nothing from VMware is shown here. Services, that was already disclosed. This and this info 32, system information, shows all what we want, nothing that says VMware. Alright guys, one quick thing before I forget. There's only one small thing you gotta do left now, and that is just hiding VMware tools and program files, and that's super easy. As I specified before, all you gotta do is right click on VMware, go to properties, go to hidden, click apply. It's going to ask to apply changes to this folder, subfolders, and files. Make sure that is selected and click OK. It says you're going to need administrator permission to do this. Just click continue. And VMware is now hidden. One more quick thing as well, because in AppWiz CPL, you will see VMware tools here, right? So we got to get rid of that. We got to go to Regedit, local machine, software, Microsoft, Windows, current version. Go all the way down till you see uninstall. You're going to see VMware tools in here. So this is not. Here's VMware tools. For me, it was the second one. So all I gotta do is literally delete the whole folder associated with it. Click yes. Now you want to build one more export of it. Okay? So export it, save it over the final registry. That's completely fine because everything's already here. dx.hig, all the other stuff that we edited from this video. I'm gonna go ahead and replace it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You'll see me in just a second. Congratulations, guys. We did it. We finally created a stealthy virtual machine inside and out. Yeah, it was a long process, but it was worth it because scammers won't be able to realize or tell between a virtual machine and an actual physical machine now. I'd like to give a big thanks to Stetmaniac on my Twitch channel. He's a regular viewer. He designed the intro you saw in the beginning there. I'd like to shout out TSU, Scammer Revolts on YouTube. I'll have all their links down in the description. Also, Jim Browning. he's the one who came up with the you know, the device manager updates and hiding VMware tools and all that. Yeah, make sure you check out Tech Scammers United. I'll have that link in the descriptions below. It's where we all connect and share our scammer opportunities and links and everything that revolves around the scam baiting community. And you guys will see me in a bit from till next video, guys. Peace out.